Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into AI Daily Deep Dive, looking at the top 5 AI news stories making waves on Thursday, September 11th, 2025. And what's really interesting here is that this whole deep dive, researched and actually generated entirely by AI, our goal, like always, is to pull out the key insights, the important stuff from these headlines, maybe give you that aha moment.
Absolutely. And these stories, they really do give a fascinating snapshot of where AI is right now. We're talking hidden human labor, governments jumping in, market shakeups, lots to unpack.
Okay, let's start with that human element. The Guardian's reporting on, well, thousands of people secretly training Google's Gemini chatbot. And their AI overviews, too. You know, the AI search results. Seems these folks are often underpaid, dealing with some pretty rough content sometimes.
Yeah, disturbing content even, violent, explicit stuff. They're critical, though, for making the AI accurate and, crucially, safe. It really highlights this massive gap, doesn't it, between this idea of AI being totally autonomous, right, like tech magic, and the reality, which one researcher literally called a pyramid scheme of human labor. You hear from workers like Rachel Sawyer, Rebecca Jackson artists. They talk about intense pressure, rules changing all the time. They even mention safety guardrails maybe getting a bit looser. It just challenges that whole AI does it all by itself story.
It really does. Okay, so from hidden humans, let's pivot to something that sounds almost like science fiction. Albania. They've appointed an AI, a virtual minister called Diela.
To oversee public procurement.
Exactly. The Prime Minister, Edi Rama, announced that the goal, 100% incorruptible public tenders. Wow, that's ambitious. But is it actually achievable, do you think, given AI's own issues?
Well, achievable is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Look, on paper, using impartial AI to fight corruption, especially with Albania aiming for the EU by 2030, it makes sense. Corruption's been a big hurdle.
Right.
But can AI really eliminate human bias? Or inefficiency? Or are we just, swapping one kind of bias for another, maybe one that's harder to spot, baked right into the code?
That's a really good point. If it learns from past data, couldn't it just repeat old biases? But then again, maybe even flawed AI is better than a system we know is vulnerable to human corruption. Is it a practical step, maybe?
It could be. It's definitely a pragmatic gamble, you could say, trading known problems for potentially unknown ones. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about the market. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, they put out a report on consumer AI apps.
Yeah, the horse race. Who's winning?
Well, it looks like the field is maturing. You've got some early winners emerging. ChatGPT, Gemini, they're still leading the pack generally. But then you have apps like ElevenLabs, really dominating specific niches like voice generation.
So it's not just about having the biggest, most powerful base model anymore.
Exactly. That's kind of becoming table stakes. The report suggests success now is more about specialized features, strong branding, building those moats around products. It's also interesting, they note Google, despite having powerful AI, sometimes struggles with the user interface, the design side. And we're also seeing Chinese apps like ByteDance's Doubao making real inroads.
Interesting. And speaking of global dynamics, China's tech giants, Alibaba, Baidu. Reports say they're starting to use their own chips, homegrown ones, for AI training.
Yeah, moving away from NVIDIA, partly because of those U.S. export restrictions.
That feels significant.
Oh, it is. It's a major strategic shift. Now, they're still using NVIDIA's H20 chips. Those are the best ones NVIDIA can currently sell in China. But Alibaba's own chips are apparently getting quite competitive. Even NVIDIA admits it now, saying, the competition has undeniably arrived. It really underscores this global push for, tech independence, especially in semiconductors and AI.
Okay, last story. Let's stick with the hardware. The AI processor market itself, it's packed. Over 120 companies developing AI chips, billions in funding pouring in. Sounds like a proper gold rush.
It's been called a Cambrian explosion, yeah. But there's a catch. John Petty Research, they predict maybe only 25 of these companies will actually survive past 2030.
Only 25 out of 120 plus support. Wow.
Right. Most are apparently still in the slideware stage, more PowerPoint than actual silicon, and trying to compete with giants like NVIDIA. Well, they call these startups Yanks.
Yanks, yep.
Stands for yet another NVIDIA killer. It's a massive challenge, which really makes you ask, what does it take to actually succeed long-term here? Beyond just raw speed or power, what's the unique value?
So wrapping this all up, quite a snapshot, isn't it? We've got the sort of hidden human cost powering the magic AI, then AI potentially running government departments, big market battles, geopolitical chip wars, and this huge processor boom that might just bust for most players.
It really shows how AI is weaving itself into everything. Tech innovation, yes, but also labor, politics, global strategy, it's all converging. It leaves you with a pretty big thought, I think. If AI is getting this embedded in our world, how much do we, really get about how it's made? Who's actually building it? Under what conditions? And ultimately, who's really benefiting from it all? Definitely something to chew on this week, maybe the next time you use an AI tool.